Hello, my name is Justin Bright, and welcome to Kerbal Space Program version 1.2.2, in which I am attempting to make Kerbals a multiplanetary species. At the moment, we have several astronauts coming back in on the Starlifter Shuttle back to Minmus. Very exciting stuff. And I have also clicked on the Level Up Crew button that the Mobile Processing Lab affords us. That comes from, I want to say that's an MKS thing. But as you can see, we have Valentina up to level 3, Gersi up to level 2, Madbeth up to level 2. What did you not do that Jeslyn did? Jeslyn planted a flag. Did you not get experience for that? I thought. Okay, so this is another thing that I was just kind of taking on faith is I had thought that planting a flag was something that happened in like a radius, like it affected other crew. This may be a case of me hearing things that sound good and then assuming them to be true and then not actually doing enough checking on them. But that's fine. We have a level 3 pilot, we have a level 3 engineer, and we have a level 3 scientist, and that's really what we were looking to get out of this whole exercise. So now we are coming in and around Minmus. In just 10 more minutes, we're going to be entering the sphere of influence. So let's see what kind of encounter we have. That's pretty good. Pretty good. So at this point, we're going to want to rendezvous with the VTOL bus. So, if I were to radial in my orbit just a tiny bit, I think that would bring me in a little bit closer. Let's just see how close I can get from here. It's not great, but that's fine. There, at least I have my periapsis near the descending node of the VTOL bus, so I'll be able to capture and adjust my inclination at the same time, which is very nice. Just play with my orbit a little bit. See if I can't get us a good capture, as well as an intercept on my next go-round. There we go. That looks like that will work out just fine. Separation. Oops. Just tiny amounts, yeah. So making adjustments that small is kind of wishful thinking that I'm actually going to be able to get the maneuver that precise, but that should get us really close, which is all we're really looking for. So we are turning around. My node is in 5 hours. Why is my node in... Oh, right. This is just the node here, so that's fine. The Minmus relay that I have sent will be coming a little bit sooner than that, so let's just get into the sphere of influence. Pop. Beautiful. Then we're going to drop a maneuver node, or an alarm. That's what they're called. Words are hard. And then we're going to jump over to the Minmus relay. Alright, so now you see a ship that I did not think was even worth showing you that I had launched, but in the previous episode, when I had redid my whole mod suite and reinstalled everything, I lost a relay that was around Minmus, and I wanted to replace it because I've been having trouble with... what the heck? Oh, this is the mid-course correction. Got it. I had problems with the with communications, and that has not been great. So we are going to send this in to orbit very high over Minmus's surface in a roughly polar orbit, and we're going to use this to maintain communications with all the different vessels and things that we're flying around. Oops, that's probably fine. Shoom. There we go. Okay, that's, yeah. That's fine. There we go. Yeah, so a little bit over 1 million meter periapsis that we're just going to go ahead and circularize all the way up there. Periapsis, circularize. There was an update to precise maneuver. I don't have a button that says circularize. It's just a little button that shows the concept of a circularization, which is fun. So yeah, I love the updates to precise maneuver. I really quite enjoy this mod. So we're going to have a really high orbit, and that's going to keep us able to communicate with things pretty much all the time, hopefully. We have another, the orbital surveyor is also good at bouncing communication. So between the two, hopefully, we are able to maintain a higher percentage of uptime for communications on all parts of Minmus. All right, back to the Starlifter Shuttle. We are going to turn towards our maneuver node so slowly. Because in 3 hours, we are going to be making a short burn to intercept and circularize, and well, not circularize, but capture is the word I'm looking for. All right, as we come around and the camera flips out, we start getting closer, and I'm going to try my best not to go past the node. I know I keep saying that, but for realsies this time, you guys. Because this one's actually a little bit more important, so I'm not going to let this one slip by. All right. Turn. Please turn. There we go. Now we're getting there. All right, so that should put us into a capture orbit and also put us on an intercept trajectory, and we'll clean that up in just a moment. I love these giant 3.5 meter, 3.75, yeah, 3.75 meter vacuum boosters. They're so hefty. There we go. So I did that about as well as I could, and that's still off by just a little, not by even very much. Let's see, what does that make it better or worse? Better or worse? Radial in, you say? Why can I not turn? Am I out of electric charge? I am. That's right. One thing that I need to do for this is I need to staple a 2.5 meter reactor on the back of here and probably knock these solar arrays off, because this thing is kind of useless out of the sun. We're coming in off of kind of a funky orbit, but it's not super critical. We have 1600 meters per second left of delta V. Tanks are a little bit less than halfway full, so I don't anticipate any issues. Whoops, lost my target. Hold on. VTOL bus set as target. What can I do about my relative inclination? There we go. We're getting that down to just about 0. Beautiful. That puts our separation at 0.2 kilometers, which is not a problem at all. The only issue is I think this is going to be in the dark, which is not ideal. All right. Well, this is just an easy peasy intercept, it looks like so far. Famous last words or something like that. But let's bring this in a little bit closer still. There we go. 0.0 kilometer difference in, or we will be within 0.0 kilometers of the other vessel in 3.5 minutes. Very nice. And there we see it about to fly off past me. And now that we are just about here, let's kill that velocity. Very carefully. 0.0 relative velocity with 51.9 meters separation. It's about as good as that gets, I think. Let's see. Now, I am going to control from this thing, and we're going to call the Starlifter Shuttle my target. And someone told me that I've been using Navyfish's docking alignment indicator wrong my entire life, because you can just use these buttons here to switch which target you are targeting. Boom, shielded docking port, just like that. I don't have to hunt around for it at all. Amazing. All right, so let's line this up. Please don't be weird. Oh, my SAS was off. That probably doesn't help. All right, so we need to back it up. Also come across laterally just a little bit. So what I would like to do at this point is we're going to bring these astronauts down because there's some things that we need to do on Minty Station for construction and disassembly. So I would like to bring them down to Minty Station and also have the bus ready to go just in case. Because coming up very soon, I have plans for some new modules that I will be adding to Minty Station, and also some items for the next bases that we will be constructing. All right, so let's just, oh, it probably helps if you actually open your docking shield. Ta-da! Okay, try that again. I said ta-da! Ka-chunk! There we go. Beautiful. So now, let's see how much science I was able to gather. Looks like big 92. That's fine, I guess. I don't know how I'm going to get the science back home yet, because there's science kind of all over this vessel from high over Minmus and also out around the sun. Well, let's open up my shiny new ship manifest, which can actually transfer science. And I press the little science button. Yes, indeed. So do we want to bring this down? I think we probably should, rather than leave this in orbit. Does that make sense? Cool. So we got the science on our little descender so that we can just, you know, deal with that whenever we decide to grab these Kerbals. And speaking of which, let's go ahead and transfer everybody over. Although I have all these cool new ways of transferring people now. I have the easy transfer mod, which just says it gives you a little transfer button and it just opens it up on whatever vessel they're in. And also when you highlight them, it shows you what vessel they're in, which makes me so happy. I was having such a hard time hunting for everybody. So we're just going to transfer. Yeah, you do that then. Ship manifest is making all kinds of weird noises. Sure. Okay, so that seemed to work fine. But that was very slow. Here, let's try it this way. Transfer one person at a time, huh? I may need to turn whatever is happening right now off because it's kind of annoying. There, that's what I'm looking for. Ah, I see. The red part is the origin part, and then the green one is the destination part. I gotcha. Okay, so that finished. Let's plan our descent. Minty Station is actually coming up. Let's do that with oxidizer. Oh, look at that. I could have done it all at the same time. Ah, okay, fine. Oh, transfer. Boom. There. Lovely. Wonderful. Fantastic. That just takes a little bit of getting used to is all. All right, so this thing is fueled up. So now I can just go ahead and save my game. Okay, we are back after a particularly bad crash. Kind of wiped out everything that I had been doing there, but we hadn't lost too much. This is why I quick save all the dang time. So we are just going to go ahead And now that we've got some sunlight coming into this thing, we are going to let it soak up some in the batteries here. Yes, very nice. Beautiful, beautiful. Do I actually have batteries on this thing? Oh yeah, these have electric charge. Okay, anyways. We are going to undock. This thing is going to push away just a little bit. And now, in about 30 seconds or so, we're going to get our orbit down so that we can meet up with Minty Station, because I would like to land this there. Although, no, this is fine. We're going to send them down to Minty Station to partake of the food and drink and the hangouts with all the other Kerbals that are there. And the thought that I had just had is I have plans on sending up an academy to start training up my Kerbals to level 3, hopefully. And I wasn't sure where I wanted these Kerbals to be, because these are going to be some of my trainers. So I'm not sure where I wanted them to be quite yet, but for now I think I would like them, and therefore this crew transfer bus, to be down with all the other Kerbals that I have on... Oh dear, I am not controlling from the right place. Hold on. Control from here. But yeah, I want everybody to be kind of in the same place, and that way I can transfer over whoever I need to the other base once I start getting that set up. And this will also give me the Kerbals with the right tools to make the additions to the base that I have coming up. Alright, so that should do it. So let's see if I can do this without crashing the game. No. Actually, that's just about perfect. Let's target the base, Minty Station. And we will use this to guide our descent. Very nice. Now we're heading right for it. Let's put down our landing legs. Mind we have, it's going to be a 12-second burn, so I don't want to screw that part up. Looks like we're coming over it a little bit, or we are undershooting just a little bit, so let's burn straight upwards. There we go. Now we're getting there. Whoop, here comes the physics bubble. Or the processing bubble, or whatever it is you want to call it. I'm just so stunned by how much of a difference that reinstall made for reducing my lag. It's so dramatic. Okay, so now we are kind of suicide burning a little bit here, probably more than I needed to. Oops. Surface velocity, not... There we go. Let's push it up a little bit. We want to get a little bit closer. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? I wish you would not do that. Okay, so we're doing good on all of our various fuels. Whoa! Did you see that? Did you see the Hulk constructor just kind of do that little dance? That was creepy. Ooh, I need to kill lateral velocity. What are you doing? Okay, I guess we're going to the other side. This is fine. Everything's fine. There's nothing to see here. There we go. Boink. And... boink. Beautiful. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay. So, now I have Kerbals. Oh, look at that. Okay, cool. So planting a flag and then does actually give experience to Kerbals nearby, because I just had Valentina pop out, plant a flag, tear it down, and then jump back in the vessel, and then I clicked on the level up crew button, and then everybody went up to level 2, or at least all of my little worker bees here, my farmers and everybody else. It doesn't say so in their little experience thing, but I imagine that's just an artifact of how that experience is actually recorded. So the important part is that they're all level 2 at the minimum now, which should help with all of my various productions. Hooray! Yeah, my supplies was previously at minus 0.03. Now it's at minus 0.05. Very exciting. Let's see, agriculture module 3,619.33%. That, I feel like that's about double what it used to be, if not more than that. Load percentages eludes me a little bit still, but yeah, we're better. This is good. This is good thing. Now we have 110 supplies and we have 4 hours, but notice that it's increasing rapidly. So until I get a good amount, I think this is going to take a little while to kind of settle out. Which is a little annoying, but you know, is what it is at this point. We are still figuring this out, and one of the first things I'm planning on sending out is a big addition to the supply generating capability of this base. Ooh, there we go. Now we're starting to see some stuff move, so I'm jumping over to my carbonite drillers as well to make sure that that's moving. And it looks like this one here, my big, the one with the big storage facility, is also starting to finally push. So between the two, we are actually pushing a huge amount of carbonite, which is great, because now we're going to be able to have the fuel to do everything we need to do. All right, massive vessel on the pad. 3, 2, 1, launch. What we have here is the Minty agricultural module, which is launching on a beautiful sunset to join with Minty Station, as I think if I'm looking at my plans here, there's only a couple more things that I want to add. So one of them is going to be this, which is like a huge amount of stuff, and I'll talk about that in a moment. And that should be, yeah, that should be everything, I think. This should be like kind of like the last thing I need to finish off Minty Station, and then we'll be sending away some of the other big pieces like the refueling and that sort of thing. So you see we have some big space-wide boosters that we are just about to kick off in about 2 seconds. And off they go. They've got big parachutes on them, so hopefully they get recovered. I'm not hoping to recover this big core booster stage. It's just too big, too fast. Don't think that that would actually work out. So let's target Minmus and see if I can't cut my relative inclination a tiny bit as we are making our ascent. Because one thing that I don't do that I very much should, I think, is start to pay attention to my my inclination and like actually worry about when I should be launching from Kerbin, because I kind of just press go as soon as it's available, rather than actually wait for an optimal transfer window to Minmus to open up. But it would in fact save me some fuel, and it is good practice to be in, so we'll see if I can get myself more into that habit going forward. But for now, this thing is on its way. Alright, so now we are rotating around to kick off this big multi-ratite engine cluster. Oh, why are there 2 things? Ooh, that was... no, that's actually good. Never mind. Pop! And that kicks off the booster stage and also the aerodynamic cone that I had on the front. So that sheds some weight as we are now out of the atmosphere and don't have to worry about all that. kick on this big Rhino engine and turn off the gimbal because it's wiggling wildly, and that's not really what you're looking for in a gimbaled engine. Alright, now we're just making our circularization burn with this big Rhino engine, and I've designed this such that we should, in theory, be able to bring this stage out to Minmus and then smack it into Minmus on our way by. Or in bringing out the VTOL portion that will be dropping it. Oh dear, this is... maybe I do need the gimbal on. There we go. I was looking up here at my numbers and not down here at the fact that my nav ball was showing that I was just kind of coming off of it there. Alright, so I'm curious, if I were to just burn here, I don't think that would actually do me any good. I think that would be expensive to match that inclination a bit. Not that bad. But still a lot more expensive than it would be. This is fine. Everything will be fine. Yeah, so we've got ourselves a nice trajectory to intercept Minmus, so we're just going to send this big old thing out there. And yeah, so we can take a little bit of a look at this as we are traveling. But this is a massive Curbitat and a massive agricultural module. So this has both cultivate and agriculture capabilities. So this is going to be able to make supplies in huge quantities and also organics, which we'll be using for colony supplies a little bit later on. And the Curbitat I'm using as a purifier, which takes in water and recycles at a very high rate, which lowers the amount of supplies that are needed by Kerbals. And around on the side here, I have some additional ILMs to store stuff, and then 4 greenhouses that I'm going to open up. I'm going to have to send up some material kits, but that should be fine. But yeah, this is my end game supplies solution that includes the ability to generate organics as well. So that should be pretty good. And there we go. Okay, now let's double check that. And not unexpected, I messed this up. There we go. And that's going to take just a couple meters per second. So ideally, we smack this directly into Minmus, because we're going to kick this stage off and then we're going to go VTOL, as I so often do. But that's going to have to happen in the next episode. If you liked this one, please leave a like and subscribe down below, and I will see you in the next one.